What's going on, everyone? It's Steve Larson, and you're listening to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. So here's the real mystery. How do real MLMers like us, who didn't cheat and only bug family members and friends, who want to grow a profitable home business, how do we recruit A players into our downlines and create extra incomes, yet still have plenty of time for the rest of our lives? That's the blaring question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. What's up, guys? Hope everyone is doing fantastic, and I hope that your recruiting and all of your selling efforts are going well. I've actually got a really cool thing to share with you guys today. Now, when I first was in my very first MLM, right, things didn't go as I wanted to. I'm sure we've all been there before. I was new. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and I didn't know. Oh gosh, what was that? It was like 5 years ago. I just didn't know really. How should I say this? I knew how to talk to people, and I actually knew how to get a lot of people interested. One of the things I was really good at and I was gifted at was getting people interested in the thing that I was talking about. And I would do it to a lot of relationships. I would do it to people that were around me all the time. And I knew how to future sell. I knew how to get people excited. And a lot of you guys listen to this episode and this podcast. You guys are probably the same. You know how to get people pumped. You know how to get people excited. The issue is that, for me at the time, it was like every 3 months there was a new idea I was getting everyone excited about. And so after a while, it was like this pattern, and everyone was like, hey, well, what's the thing? What's the idea, the flavor of the month? What's the flavor of the quarter this time, Steven? And I'd be like, shut up, this is amazing. It's absolutely incredible, and I would get a little defensive about it. Well, I wanted to go through and actually show you guys. I got to be sensitive here, okay? Please understand, I'm being sensitive. But there's been a person that reached out in the past little bit here, and this person was, I don't even know how to describe this, but blaming they're placing all of the responsibility of success on my shoulders, right? They came in, they got the Secret MLM Hacks program, they came in and they said, hey, look, I don't want any homework. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. First of all, I'm not giving you homework. I'm giving you stuff to build your business. Like, second of all, please, you're going to need to drag me along the way here. And my brain about exploded. I think I had a little mini conniption inside my noggin, and I went nuts. And I was like, I will not drag you. I will not drag you. And, I proceeded to let this individual know why. I have brought 1,500 people through the process that I sell inside of Secret MLM Hacks, okay? A lot of people. And what's funny is it's not the same process as what I do in other companies, things like that, but it's very similar. There's some similar concepts, similar core things. And what's funny is, right, of those 1,500, a lot of people became millionaires. A lot of people became 100,000aires, and tons of people made money for the first time on the internet ever in their life. And it was exciting, and it's really cool to see that. I know this works, and that's the reason why I get so passionate and frankly defensive over the thing that I sell. And I just gotta say, first off, like, if you don't feel really defensive over what your MLM sells when someone gets like mad about it, you're probably selling the wrong thing, right? I stand so firmly behind my name is so attached to what I do. I love it. I love what I do, and I know it works because I'm a product of my product. Does that make sense? And it's cool to buy from people when they're a product of their own product because there's passion behind it. And so, like, so I'm trying to hold my tongue here for the sake of the fact that this episode's going to be on iTunes until I die. But I was mad, guys. I was livid with this individual because they started accusing me of. I don't even know. It was kind of all over the place. And I felt defensive. And I immediately thought in my mind, well, it's okay that I'm feeling defensive because I know it works. Like, right? If you don't get really, I'm not saying defensive in like a really negative way. It's not like I just went nuts on this individual. I didn't. But I really wanted to, and I felt that way. And I had to hold my tongue. I frankly had to go, stand up and get away. I had to do other things for a while. I literally could not be near my desk for a little bit because I was so mad about it. It all happened last night, and it drove me nuts. So number one, anyways, if you are not passionate about your product, it's going to be really hard for you to move forward on this thing. I'm not even talking all about what I want to right now, but I just want you to know that, like, right, if you have a hard time being passionate about your thing, the cool thing about passion is this. When someone can tell that you're passionate about your product, when you're passionate about the MLM that you're in, it actually makes up for and fills up gaps for your knowledge when it comes to script writing and how to close people and stuff like that. That stuff matters. That stuff matters to go study. But if you don't know that stuff, raw, pure passion is a fantastic sidestep of knowing those things. Raw, pure passion, just straight excitement. I remember there's a product once one of my buddies wanted to buy, and I was like, dude, this is so cool. How does it work? He's like, I don't know, but it's cool. I was like, okay, and I bought it, and it was really expensive. Why? Not because there was a great close, but because of the raw, pure passion. If you have that for your thing, it makes it so much better. So anyways, don't be nervous though when somebody gets mad at you or comes out and says like, hey, you know, you're a fraud or whatever. Like, it's gonna happen, whatever. Anyway, so when I first started though, the MLM game, I don't know why I got sidetracked on that. When I first got started in the game, I started having a lot of conversations like that, right? Where I was like, hey, here's my product, here's my MLM's thing, here's the thing I'm going for, and people would get. They start throwing the attacks. You know, here come the arrows. Like, well, it's awesome because of this. Well, no, awesome because of this. You know, and instead of me getting really good at dodging arrows, I decided that I would just start changing the person that I was pitching. And you guys know that's one of the major things that you learn how to do inside of Secret MLM Hacks, the actual program. You learn how to change the person hearing your pitch. You also learn how to automate hearing your pitch. Right, you learn how to, and the reason why we go through this is because of this, right? This right here, I want to tell you something. I was, I think I was, this is, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. I was studying. I was trying to figure out ways to grow companies, and I ran across this really neat thing. I think it's by Dan Kennedy. I think so. I'm not sure, either that or Gary Halbert. I can't remember. Anyway, but there are only 3 ways to grow a company. There's only 3 ways to grow a company. Number 1, you can get more customers, right? Number 2, you can get your customers to pay more, right? Or number 3, you can get your customers to pay more often, right? That's really it. Get more customers. You can get your customers to pay more cash, or you can get customers to pay more frequently, right? Maybe through some continuity thing, and that's really right, that's the holy grail of MLM. You know, they're on auto ship, right? That means you're paying frequently. Anyway, so those are only the 3 ways. So number 1, let's say this. Okay, let's say I want to get more customers, right? Well, number 1 of the things you can do is stop pitching everybody, and which is completely different than what your upline will tell you to do. But by pitching everybody, that is nothing more than a bloodbath for your psyche and for everything that you're going to be going through and experiencing, right? So when you're getting more customers, we call those acquisition funnels, right? I'm going to acquire customers. How can I get more people in the door? And funny enough, the majority of business is focused just on that. I mean, business in general, right, is just focused on just that one metric. How can I get more people in the door? Well, there's actually more ways to get cash. There's actually more ways to grow a company than just more people. Let's look at the other 2, right? Number 2, right? I could get customers to pay more. Right, we call those monetization funnels, or right, how do I monetize my existing customer base? It is infinitely easier to get somebody who's already paying you to start paying you more, right? It's easier to get somebody to start paying you more money than it is to go find a new person. That's what I was trying to say, right? It's so much more expensive, right? On an actual number, number proven basis, it's a fact, you know, it costs you far more cash to acquire a customer than it does to get a customer to pay you more money. And so what's interesting is if you want, sit back and start looking through the people who are purchasing in your downline, right? Either people who are inside your opportunity or people who are purchasing from you. If they've said yes to you one time, the second yes is so much easier. Go back to them and see what products they're not consuming from you and go offer them those products. That mere act right there of getting existing customers to pay more cash, right, is how big companies blow up so often, right? If you go look at like Agora Publishing, what's fascinating is a lot of their very first products that a new customer ever sees, it's a low ticket. It's just meant to get somebody in the door. It's just meant to get the first small yes. Then every single product, every single interaction, every single publication that person, once they are a customer, every single thing they start consuming, turns into ascending them, right? How can I ascend? How can I ascend? How can I ascend? How can I get you to pay more cash, right? How can I get you to the next level? How can I get you to consume another product? And so when you start thinking through that, I mean, look at your downlines. Look at the people who are inside. What could they be also purchasing that would be a benefit to them that they're not purchasing? And make that a campaign, right? Rather than just the campaign of let's get more customers, there's a campaign around let's just get our customers to pay more, Anyway, hopefully it's helpful so far. Okay. There's a lot of companies, not many companies focus really, really heavily on that and have an actual process in place to do that. Imagine if you were to do that inside your MLM. All right. The third thing, right? Get customers to pay more frequently, right? In an MLM, right? And in your downlines, getting somebody to get on auto ship, getting somebody to pay you month in and month out, right? That's a pretty powerful concept. That's extremely powerful thing to go do. And so, there's obviously a huge focus on that. So if you look at the three of them, right, getting someone to pay continuity, acquiring more people, or the actual monetization, right, of those three, the second one, right, so let me read it again. So, right, you could, number one, acquire more customers, which the standard pitch to distributors is talk to everything as a heartbeat, talk to everyone all the time, which is a huge way of pain, right? So number one, you could acquire more people. Number two, you could monetize the existing people. Or number three, you could get the existing people to pay you frequently. Get on auto ship, maybe get on a support program for other things. Some kind of even a little mastermind, things like that. That's a super popular way to do that. But anyways, of those three, it's number two that people really don't do that much in the MLM space, right? So I would encourage every one of you guys to build somewhat of a campaign, a process, an event, if you will, that's on purpose, that's timed to get somebody to start paying you more money, right? And say yes to that next product, say yes to that next thing, and so you can actually increase the cart value of each customer coming in. So this is kind of a tactile episode. Hopefully this is okay though. If you look at the customers, right? So more customers, get them to pay more, get them to pay more often. I like to look at those in two different areas. Number one, what's the funnel? Meaning, what's the sales arm? What's the actual process to get somebody in place for that? And most people don't build a specific funnel just to, with intention, just to acquire people. That's what you'll learn inside Secret MLM Hacks. So that's one area I like to look at things. The second area is on the business side, right? Can my business actually handle more people? And what's funny about that is I don't think many people ask that question for a long time either, where they can acquire a lot of people, but the business can't handle more people, right? If you are the major linchpin in your entire downline, meaning 7 layers down, all the leaders are still pointing up back to you, you're doing it wrong. Because what that's gonna do is it's actually gonna make you. That's how MLM doesn't duplicate. Right? It doesn't duplicate that way. If 7 layers down, everyone's like pointing back up to Steven. Look, there's Steven, and then it's finally me, right? It doesn't work that way, right? I have in essence, not created leaders underneath me. So number one, can I acquire people? Number two, can my business handle it? So I like to put a process to both acquire and then a process to handle the actual people coming in. Does that make sense? So for example, I might have some funnels and some processes in place to acquire people, but then once they're actually in, I'll have some funnels and some processes in place to train them automatically, which I do, right? And then when somebody joins my downline, I actually have a system that is in place. It is the same for every single person. That way, when I see my entire downline doesn't get something, I can go back and just change the process. Right? Upgrade the process. See where the process doesn't work, the automated process. That way, it removes me. I don't marry my downline, right? They're still getting incredible support. They're getting far more from me than any other person in my entire MLM. I know that. They know that. But I'm not the one doing the training personally each time. Why would I not just put it on a video? You know what I mean? Is this making sense? So, acquiring, right? I'll put a process in place to acquire and a process in place to train so that my business can handle them. Now let's think about, right, that's from a recruiting standpoint, but think about how that might work also for actual product sales side. Now let's think about, right, so that's category number one. Let's get customers, let's get more customers. Category number two is, right, let's get customers to pay more frequently. Pay more. Let's get customers to pay more cash. Let's increase the average cart value of our current customers. Let's get them to buy something else. So let's think of that. Like, well, is there a funnel that pitches? Is there a process that pitches existing customers, right, to join the next level? You know, maybe your MLM, right? And let's say that's from a product sales side. What if it's a business opportunity side, though? What if people have the opportunity to purchase the next rank above them or something like that, and you get a cut of that? Well, do you have a process that's the same every single time to pitch somebody from one level to the next? You know, or a process in place to pitch somebody once they buy the first product of yours, pitch them onto the next product? Does that make sense? So you got a funnel, a process to ascend people. And then you also have a funnel, a process for your business to handle those people. Does that make sense? It's a double-sided coin. That's the reason why I am going through this real quick. Not enough just to sell, not enough just to have a great funnel. You have to have the systems in place. Okay. And then the third category, right, is continuity, basically, right? It's the monthly auto ship. It's the frequency. How can I increase the frequency someone's paying me? Right? Do you have a funnel that pitches somebody on paying you more frequently? Do you have a business operation in place? Do you have a process in place to handle people paying you more frequently? That makes sense? Anyways, I know that was kind of a tactile episode, but I just wanted to go through that, right? Because it's one of the things, as I was talking to this lady, that I was realizing, I was like, this lady made it through my process. Meaning my funnel sells people, but it also filters people. You know, somebody who's not a good fit, I don't want the embarrassment for them to come in and then say like, oh man, like this is really rough. Does that make sense? Oh man, like, right? And then that makes an awkward conversation, right? Just like when you recruited that person who probably shouldn't be in your downline that's in your downline. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay, we've all been there. It's totally fine, right? It's an awkward conversation eventually when you bring somebody in. And I did that my first MLM. I brought in this person and I realized, oh my gosh, this person, where did my funnel break? Because this person made it through and they should have been caught out. Not that I'm trying to be mean, but you know, we're all in different scenarios in life. Anyway, I hope this is helpful to you. I hope it's making sense what I'm saying here also, right? The funnel, the processes, they sell people, but they also are your protector. They're the protector for you. So as you start thinking through, hey, should I get more customers? Is that the model I'm trying to go for now? Or am I trying to take my existing customers and get them to pay more? Or am I trying to take my existing customers and get them to pay more frequently? Just choose one at a time. Don't go for all three at once. That's murder. But that's what I would do though. And as you start thinking through the process that you want to go handle, think it there, right? Number 1, 2, or 3, get more customers, get them to pay more frequently. One of those 3. Start thinking through, okay, what's my process to acquire more? And number 2, how does my business handle that growth? Do I have things in place for it? And when you start treating it that way, what's cool is that it means you're actually treating your MLM business like an actual business owner would. And it puts you in places and it puts you in scenarios that other people in your uplines and downlines have not been before, because you'll actually be operating like a company, right? Not just like a solopreneur. I've never seen a rich solopreneur. I haven't. It takes a team. It takes some processes around. It takes some systems around them, right? And that's how it works. And so if you're having a hard time scaling, you're realizing like, oh man, I'm not selling like I want to be. You know, is it a funnel problem or is it a business operations problem? Okay, cool. Now you know. Well, are you trying to just one at a time, not all 3 or not 2, just one at a time? Are you trying to get more customers? You trying to get customers to pay more? You're trying to get them to pay more frequently, and start thinking through that and only choose one at a time. Look at it from the funnel side and the business side. Anyway, I feel like I said the same thing over and over again, but it's because I'm trying to pound it in. Like that this is the reason why my stuff is crushing it, just so you guys know. Like that's the reason why my students in Secret MLM Hacks crush it. Right? That's the reason why my downline crushes it. It's because we don't just take it from the traditional MLM side. We are putting inside and we are coupling it with other practices for how things work best and sell best on the internet. and still leave the entrepreneur time to breathe and enjoy the cash they're making with the processes they put in place. Anyway, guys, hopefully that's helpful. Would love to hear more of your questions. I think I've got a lot more questions you guys have asked. Go to secretmlmhacksradio.com and you guys can ask any question you'd like. It's a green button on the bottom right. Click the button and it will record your question straight off your browser and email the audio file to me. Also, feel free to check out secretmlmhacks.com and actually watch the next free web class that we've got going on there. It's fantastic. It's rocking the boat a little bit. I know that, very aware of that. And if you are kind of tired of kind of the traditional ways to grow MLM and you want to use things like the internet and automation that's been around for a little while now and people are telling you not to use it, go ahead and jump on over and you can see how it works best for your MLM and your scenario. There's no pitch. I'm not even telling you the name of the MLM that I'm in. I never will because I don't want anyone to feel like there's any pitch happening. So anyway, I hope that has been helpful to you. Excited to have you guys over there. And please feel free again to rate and subscribe. In my opinion, this is the greatest MLM podcast that is available on iTunes, and I want iTunes to know that. And so your reviews help me tremendously, especially in this new age as we apply good tactics to a great business model called MLM. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Whether you just want more leads or automated MLM funnels, or if you just want to learn to get paid more for your product, head over to secretmlmhacks.com to join the next free training today.